Jose, what can you tell us right now?
Connie, yeah, like you just said, you heard Doug say, we are in a shelter-in-place within a 5-mile radius. We're on top of the parking garage of the Louisville airport. This is exactly what we're looking at right here. A large plume of smoke that looks to be on the south side of the airport and the tarmac as well. This plume of smoke, it's moving fast. I mean, we saw it from downtown Louisville all the way up to this point of being at the airport. It's starting to dissipate as it's heading towards north, towards looks like downtown or possibly East Louisville as well. We have a full moon too, and we can see that moon is actually kind of being covered up from time to time on this large plume of smoke. But so far, it's not looking to let up at all. Things are starting to look a little fuzzy out here. That's why we ended up putting on these masks just to make sure that we're being safe as well. As far as traffic in the area, I'm not seeing any cars really drive around the airport right now, but I do see other people out on the railings also taking a look at what is happening here. And of course, we are still waiting for those details from officials. We do know that there are injuries that have been confirmed. There is debris in that area and that you're being asked to stay away from it as well. Again, within a 5-mile radius, just like my partner who lives nearby here, please go inside, shelter in place. We still don't know. There's a lot of questions on what exactly is this explosion? Why are we having to shelter in place? What's in the air right now? So please take those precautions. But Doug and Connie, this is, again, what we are seeing out here, and we're still waiting on those updates from officials.
You've been in the area, and when you were driving there, has the form of that smoke changed in your opinion at all, or is it still about the same since you've been on the scene for several minutes?
Doug, I will say, we'll take it back to this. It has not changed much at all. Again, it kind of looks like what I was already seeing from downtown on the drive to 65 South all the way to the airport. This seems to continue to expand. I am not seeing this turn down at all in regards to the smoke here. We did hear some ambulances in the area, some other first responders, and those sirens, but there's no movement here at the airport at all. This does not seem to be letting up anytime soon. Doug?
Jose, it's Connie here. Asking, what was it like getting there as far as traffic? Were cars stopped at all? Were emergency vehicles all trying to get over there? What were you able to see? Take our viewers with you there.
Yeah, Connie, so what we were able to see, there was some traffic on 65. It started clearing out as the closer we got to the airport, but I did see several crashes. Now, were those crashes associated to seeing what was happening in the sky? That, of course, we cannot confirm at this moment, but there were several crashes. It looked like they were waiting for first responders themselves, but it was pretty clear once we were getting closer to the airport, again, north of the airport, into the parking garage. But again, if you're driving, of course, make sure you're paying attention to the road. I know this is a big visual thing that people are seeing across the city right now. But yeah, in regards to traffic, we didn't see too much congestion, but of course, just be safe out there. Connie?
As folks are tuning in, they're seeing you with the mask on. What is the air like out there with all that smoke right now, Jose?
Connie, I can definitely tell you it smells different out here. I mean, take another look, y'all. This is what's in the air. It's feeling a little foggy, especially towards the tarmac. There is no movement on the tarmac, but I do see some smoke on the lower levels. The smoke is in the air on top of us, and it smells just like something's burning. I can't necessarily pinpoint what I smell exactly, but again, it is definitely in the air right now. Things are looking a little foggy, and this is all happening while we have this beautiful sunset at the same time. So depending on what side of the city you're on, that sunset could be completely blocked off by this large plume of smoke that is still going and not changing in size at all. Especially if you're in the east end looking towards the west, you're definitely going to be starting to see that large plume of smoke block out that sunset down here. Connie, well, Doug?
Jose, once again, because it's hard to get perspective on television, take us again the direction where the smoke is actually moving, because you were there looking sort of south towards southern Jefferson County. We see parts of the knobs of Iroquois Park and Jefferson Memorial Forest behind you. So which direction is the smoke going now?
Yes, so Doug, I'm going to show it to you right here again. This is all happening south of the airport. So in South Louisville is what we're seeing. And then Aspen's going to show you, just by pointing it upwards, the winds, it's following the winds, which is seeming like to go northeast. So again, it didn't look like it was heading directly towards downtown, rather more towards East Louisville. So if you're in East Louisville, you're definitely going to start seeing that. Aspen's probably going to show you this moon as well. That moon, from our perspective, is starting to get covered up. And even though it's not completely covered by the smoke you see right now, you can see that haziness around it. So it's not just the black smoke you have to worry about. Again, there's been some sort of haziness that's also associated with this. But again, that flow, it's seeming to be heading, the smoke is heading up towards the air from the south side all the way to the northeastern side. Doug, Connie?
All right, thank you very much, Jose. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear now out on social media saying, we are aware of a reported plane crash near Louisville International Airport. First responders are on site, and we will share more information as available. Please pray for the pilot's crew and everyone affected. We will share more soon from Kentucky's governor just moments ago.
Certainly. Also, remember that a shelter in place has been issued for all locations within 5 miles of the airport. They are asking that you remain away from the area until further notice, and a shelter in place for everyone that's within 5 miles.
We've got more live views of different cameras for you. If we want to punch up the Trimark camera that we have here that we're looking at in our studio.
That's from the Watterson.
Again, this is from the Watterson at Freedom Way in South Louisville. Again, if you're just joining us, at 5:24 was the first report coming out from Metro Police. We were getting reports of an explosion just a few minutes before that. They are confirming a plane crash near Fern Valley Road and Grade Lane. And as Connie just said, the shelter in place then came out a few minutes later after that at 5:39 for 5 miles all around the airport. And that's due to the smoke, as you can see, which, as Jose has said, is lifting up from the south and moving in a direction of northeast.
And, you know, there are certainly industrial areas over there where we are talking about as well. We don't know how many buildings possibly that this plane has crashed into. That was an original report that we heard. Also, you know, they are responding to injuries in this plane crash, which is what officials were first told. So, you know, again, we are hopeful that that is not the case, but
and we should say that our emergency crews, they train for this often. There was one not long ago for this, and of course, when you were dealing with jet fuel and other materials, the firefighting on this is very complicated. And we have to say that as we're going down, sunset was officially at 5:41. But you still see the sun illuminating there in the west on the lower right of your screen. The smoke plume has not changed since we've been on the air.
No, it has not. It's just gotten bigger. We have several crews that are out there right now. We will be going to them in just a few moments. Again, they are at different angles of this fire and crash. So certainly people are trying to figure out what's happening right now, Doug. People that were inside the airport, people that were driving by this incident are scared. They are scared for the people that are involved in this and anyone down on the ground that may have been in a building near where this happened. So a lot of you know, thoughts go out certainly to you know, our emergency responders as they are taking this on. And again, we are losing light here shortly, Doug.
So at this moment, we do not know if there are any fatalities. There has been no confirmation yet as the type of airline or the type of jets that has been involved in this. As this happened just about after 5 o'clock tonight at about 5:20 or so. And at the moment, Firefighters are still there on the scene with the shelter in place. That's all we have. If we are trying to get more information from the mayor and others when they can.
All right. Well, our Conroy Deluche is there now. Conroy, if you can hear us, tell us where you are at the scene of this plane crash, what appears to be a plane crash.
So we are actually standing right in front of me. Not far is L&N Stadium, which has a huge puff of smoke all over it. We started driving here about maybe 20 minutes ago from the station, which is at 5th and Chestnut. By the time that we got to Kentucky and 3rd, there was already a lot of smoke that we were seeing to our left side as we were trying to head toward the scene. I'm going to step out so you can see what we're seeing. That direction is SDF, Louisville International Airport. And this is from U of L's campus, so we are a good mile at least from the airport, and this is what we've seen. It has gotten darker as far as we can see, and just looking over my shoulder past where you got a Homewood Suites by Hilton right here, the puff of smoke is just really, really dark as it gets further and further toward the downtown area. And when we were driving down, I think we were coming down 3rd Street or Central Avenue. By the time we hit Central and we were going through the heart of U of L's campus, we were just seeing a lot of people who were walking out of stores, walking out of businesses who maybe hadn't been outside in the last 20 minutes or so, and they were just looking in awe of what is going on. And I don't mean the good kind, just shock, because unless you've been glued to social media or a TV, and you're within 3 miles of this, you may have had no idea what happened until you looked out your window and saw just how dark it is. Now, it is getting darker because the moon is coming out, but make no mistake, this smoke out here is extremely dark. And we saw the emergency alert as we were coming in about the 5-mile radius, and we are within that, but we're trying to find out what's going on so that we can try and help as many people be safe as possible. We've seen a lot of emergency crews that have continued going. And actually, I'm going to scoot out of the way because we have a runner coming down the bridge or coming up the bridge towards us. So it's nothing like we've seen in quite some time here in Louisville. And we're going to keep an eye on things out here from near U of L's campus, and we'll see if we can get a little bit closer, but we do need to keep our safety in mind as well. But we'll keep you guys updated and stay along with us on WHAS 11. Doug, Connie, we'll send it back to you.
We just now have this just in and confirmed. This is confirmed from UPS, again being put out also by Metro Police. UPS has now been notified of an accident involving one of our aircraft in Louisville, and they're going to be posting updates here in just a little bit. Again, there's been a lot of talk on social media about the different airlines, and that UPS now confirming that it is one of their cargo jets here in Louisville. Again, that puts that map matches right up with where the UPS property is. It is on the southern end of the airport, as you see where we have marked plane crash. That is at Fern Valley Road and Grade Lane. And again, this incident first being coming in just before 5:20 tonight. We were on the air with you as the first reports of that huge, thick black plume of smoke was rising from South Louisville. And then at 5:39, a shelter in place has been put in together for 5 miles of the airport.
And we still don't know at this point, Doug, what may have caused this accident. We're talking about a very clear day out there. So certainly we've never experienced anything like this at the Louisville airport. And so we certainly have no idea why this plane crashed, again, this UPS cargo plane. But again, it's the whole area out there, 5-mile radius. People have been asked to shelter in place. And if you are outside that area, do not go by there. Do not try to take video. Stay away from the area. There are many emergency responders that are headed in there, that are there now, that are asking you to please leave those lanes open for them.
And again, our hearts and prayers certainly with the UPS community. We know so many of the pilots and the people who work here, who are tied into UPS. And again, at this moment, UPS now confirming that it is one of their jets at the airport, as it is becoming nightfall here, and this is a still very active scene of trying to get to the fire, get the fire out, and also they are, at least at this moment, reporting just injuries reporting. We don't have any confirmation yet of any fatalities.
And we're taking a look now at some video of people who are there near the accident, who are taking some video and trying to figure out what's going on the phone. Again, everyone is just wondering, you know, what has happened, and certainly worried about anybody on the ground and in that cargo plane.
Again, you see this view coming from the airport. And at this moment now, we are waiting to get more thorough information as to how this may have happened, exactly where this aircraft was coming in from. As we know, UPS has its Worldport here at our airport, very busy airport. We see them flying through the skies all of the time, coming in. And let's go back to some of the live views that we can show you, because it's the smoke that people are concerned about right now with the shelter in place 5 miles around the airport. You can still see it hanging very low in the air right there.
Yes, and also Muhammad Ali closed to arriving and departing flights right now, obviously following this crash of the UPS cargo plane. Certainly folks that are driving near the area, you heard Jose say that there were some accidents. You know, we don't know if those were related to people trying to take a look at what's happening over there, but certainly was something that he noticed. We're going to take another shot, if we can, of the, wow, flames out there. That's some serious flames coming from the crash. Is
this from our airport rooftop camera?
Crews out there.
Okay, this is from our crews who are there at the scene, looking on the this is the airport parking garage, looking back.
Wow.
Looking back on the part of the southern part of the airport there, as you can see, the firefighting is still well underway. Again, our first report on this, Connie, was at 5:24, confirmed by Metro Police that we had a plane crash at the airport.
That's right. Certainly, they wanted to let people know that there were multiple agencies, firefighters, police, EMS, heading that way to try and, you know, help. Obviously, they had gotten reports of injuries from a plane crash and headed that way. And again, folks at the airport still trying to get there. We're getting emergency warnings on our phones that you can hear right now.
Okay, they've just been revised. They've revised the shelter in place. Northbound to the Ohio River. Avoid smoke from the incident. So that's a new alert coming out on people's phones. Again, so that the smoke is shifting a little bit there. We have a Mallory Schnell telling me that they have we have a southerly wind, so that is now pushing the smoke directly north toward downtown Louisville and toward the Ohio River. So if you're in southern Indiana too as well, just keep that in mind. Louisville Metro probably not issuing a shelter in place for you, but you need to know the smoke is moving that way. I think as we right now are just after 6 o'clock, we've been on the air with you since shortly after 5, of course, as a plane crash has been reported at the Louisville airport. We now have confirmed that it is involving a UPS jet on the southern end of the airport at Fern Valley Road and Grade Lane.
All right, and again, Doug, folks that live within a 5-mile radius, we're taking a look at this map here. So those folks are asked to shelter in place right now. Emergency crews have a lot going on. They need your help. They want you to be safe. The shelter in place has been issued. Also, they ask the people that are not in that 5-mile radius to stay away from the area. This is going to be a long recovery mission right now.
Again, we're still in the early stages of reporting this. As you can understand, so many of our top officials and authorities are there trying to get a handle on it. The governor has also tweeted out about it, acknowledging that we have a plane crash. Louisville Metro Police just right now saying that Emergency Management Agency here in town will brief the media eventually, but then they added not anytime soon. So that gives you an idea of just how things are so chaotic at the moment down at the airport.
Well, they're probably having trouble getting information as well, because everyone who needs to give that information out is in the middle of it right now. They have a job to do, and they're there trying to certainly see if there are, folks that have been injured, what kind of situation we have there, and to help those in need.
Getting photographs and comments from our viewers, Connie, who are out in Oldham County. They're seeing the large plume of smoke right now on the higher areas of Oldham County. So it just gives you an indication of how widespread it is, as this smoke has now shifted from, it was going to more of an eastern location, now almost directly north toward the Ohio River.
All right, we want to go back out to Jose Alonso if we can, if he's ready. Jose, what can you tell us now?
Connie, Doug, I want to show you again what exactly we're looking at right away. This has not changed whatsoever. That sunlight is going down, but this plume of smoke is still ongoing. We can clearly see that it is moving northwards, this giant plume of smoke. Again, that moon as well looking very, very hazy. There's a lot of haze out here just standing on top of the parking garage airport at the Muhammad Ali International Airport. Again, we're starting to see a little bit of movement around here. You can see a police vehicle just moving right here on the drop-off location of the airport. It looks like a lot more people have moved inside as well. In regards to the tarmac, starting to see just smaller vehicles and flashing lights out there also moving. But if we look very, very close towards the plume of smoke, you can clearly see in bright orange and red out there. That looks like it could be the fire itself. At least it's looking like the source of what's causing this large plume of smoke. But again, that you got to make sure you're staying careful out here. I'm still seeing some traffic move around here in the airport, not just first responders. I'm seeing a bus and some other passenger cars as well. But just take that caution, take that precaution while you're out here. Connie, Doug?